Gaines, will you unmute yourself? Floor is yours for 2 minutes.
Hi, thank you so much. My name is Riley Gaines. I was a student at the University of Kentucky, where I was fortunate enough to be a member of UK's swim team. I proudly finished my career as a 12-time NCAA All-American, a 5-time SEC champion, the SEC record holder in the 200 butterfly, making me one of the fastest Americans of all time, and a 2-time Olympic trial qualifier. On March 17th, my teammates and I, as well as female swimmers from universities around the country, were forced to compete against a biological male named Leah Thomas. Thomas was allowed to compete in the women's division after competing as a member of UPenn's men's swim team for 3 years. We watched on the side of the pool as Thomas swam to a national title in the 500-yard freestyle, beating out the most impressive and accomplished female swimmers in the country, including Olympians and American record holders, whereas previously Thomas had ranked 462nd at best in the men's division. The next day, Thomas and I raced in the 200-yard freestyle, which ended up in a tie. We went the exact same time down to the 100th of a second. Having only one trophy, the NCAA handed it to Thomas and told me that I had to go home empty-handed because Thomas had to hold the trophy for photo purposes. I was shocked. I felt betrayed and belittled and reduced to a photo op. But my feelings didn't matter. What mattered to the NCAA were the feelings of a biological male. In 1972, Congress enacted Title IX to end unjust sex discrimination in all aspects of education, including college athletics. But by allowing Thomas to displace female athletes in the pool and on the podium, the NCAA intentionally and explicitly discriminated on the basis of sex. Although the NCAA claimed it acted in the name of inclusion, its policies in fact excluded female athletes, the very athletes who Title IX was passed to protect. But that is not all. In addition to being forced to give up our awards and our titles and our opportunities, the NCAA forced female swimmers to share a locker room with Thomas, a 6'4", 22-year-old man equipped with and exposing male genitalia. Let me be clear. We were not forewarned about this arrangement. We did not give our consent, and they did not ask for our consent. If nothing else, I truly hope you can see how this is a violation of our right to privacy and how some of us have felt uncomfortable, embarrassed, and even traumatized by the experience. It's impossible to speak for everyone who competed against Thomas, but I can attest to the tears that I witnessed from finishers who missed out on being named an All-American by one place. I can attest to the extreme discomfort in the locker room from 18-year-old girls exposed to male body parts and having to undress with male eyes watching in the same room. I can attest to the anger and frustration expressed by girls who had worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this moment, only to have to compete in what felt like a farce. And I can attest to a fact. Around the country, female athletes who protested the inclusion of Leah Thomas in the women's division were threatened, intimidated, and emotionally blackmailed into silence and submission. But unfortunately, our experiences are not unique. The number of female athletes who have been denied opportunities, traumatized, or hurt by policies that claim to promote inclusion is growing at an alarming rate. It's unfair and it's discriminatory, and it must stop. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experience, and I hope you really, truly heard my story and consider the facts, the science, and the growing stories. So thank you.